this program, this actual curriculum, we focus on the emotional aspect of bonding, the communication, the emotional understanding part. What we have found in our research is that when you take care of that part, the physical part often takes care of itself. We do work on sensuality and sexuality, but if there's a breakdown in the emotional part of bonding, there's often, it often shows up on the other parts of bonding as well. So let's start with communication. So Virginia Satir, she identified that what often affects communication is what she called stress styles. That we tend to communicate in one or more of 4 ways under stress that tend to push other people away. And they're ways that may seem to have good intentions. They're often ways we learn to survive in the world. But they're styles of communication that more often than not become more of an issue than the issue. And she called these 4 styles the placator or people pleaser, the blamer, the computer or super reasonable style, and the distractor or irrelevant style. And if anybody's ever interested in learning more, she wrote a book called People Making, another one called New People Making. And in those books, and Virginia passed away in 1988, but in those books she explained this in more detail. So what all of these 4 styles have in common, and we can mix and match them. You know, we might be in the placating style one moment, and then something shifts, and suddenly we're in the blaming style. You know, and we might have different styles with different people. Might be that with a child we're a computer. You know, with a boss, a supervisor, we're a placater. With a spouse, you know, we're a blamer. We can mix and match these styles. So while we might have one primary style, they can shift in different relationships, and they can shift instantly within the same relationship. But they all have one thing in common, which is they cancel out one or more key elements of communication. And these are the 3 key elements in communication, and there's a lot of sub-elements. But the big ones are what's there for me. What are my thoughts, feelings, needs, experiences, dreams, goals, expectations, etc. That's a really big part of communication. Another part of communication is all those exact same things for the other person. What's your perspective? What's your experience? What are your needs? What are your goals? What are the things you want? And then the last part of the communication is the context of the issue. What are we dealing with? What's the issue we're trying to work through or resolve? Those are the 3 primary elements. So the placator cancels out the self. The placating style says, given a problem, I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to take any chance of making waves. You know, I don't want to deal with whatever, fill in the blank. So given a problem, the placator is going to say, I'm sorry, it's all my fault, please forgive me. They put a big X through themselves. And we're going to play with all these, but I just want to give you an overview of them first. They cancel out themselves. And if anybody's ever saw All in the Family, Edith Bunker was the epitome of the placator. You know, acting one way while inside feeling something very different. So what do you think the blamer cancels out? In the blaming style, what do you think they cancel out? Yeah, they cancel out the other person. The blaming style says the best defense is a good offense. And the moment you tell me what you're sad or frustrated or disappointed or upset about, I will get you before you can get me. And if I can't get you directly, I get you by association. You know? It's what your mama did, or it's what people from your community did, or it's what you did, you know, 22 years ago on the night of our wedding. You know, it's like the blamer is always collecting whatever they need and carrying it around, ready at the first sign of somebody being upset or disappointed or frustrated to throw it all right down there. So nothing ever gets resolved. So the blamer is quick to cancel out the other person with things like it's all your fault, you shouldn't have done that, you know, if it wasn't for you, this would have never happened. And all these styles can be verbal and nonverbal. I've seen the best blamers I've probably ever seen in my life don't say a word. They do it with body posture, with the twisting of their necks, with a look in their eyes. There are a lot of ways to do this without ever uttering a word. And they can also be very subtle. You know, an aggressive blaming style might be, you know, yelling. A less aggressive blaming style might be, well, maybe we're just not meant to be together. That's the most subtle but most destructive of the of the passive blaming styles I've seen. The computer style says emotions are so messy, they're so unpredictable. I don't understand my feelings, I don't understand your feelings, let's just deal with the issue. And that made perfect sense in previous generations. A lot of men were raised to be computers. A lot of careers prepare people to use that, to be in that style. That you shouldn't, that what you feel, if you're really competent, then you're not gonna be bothered with emotions. But the slowest emotion is more than 1,000 times faster than the fastest thought. By the time our mind is aware that we've had a feeling, we've already had the feeling. So anybody who's walking around thinking people should control what they feel with their head doesn't understand the nature of how we work. Emotions are felt before we even know that they're there. And once they're felt, then we can choose what to do about it. We can interpret it, we can analyze it, we can question what it means. But we feel what we feel. And we're learning a lot about that. I think that in this current generation, they've just started to find out that emotional experiences are imprinted in the DNA. That the DNA isn't just proteins, it carries physical characteristics. But that even the trauma that a mother experienced before the birth of a child is imprinted in the DNA. I would be not at all surprised if we discover that thousands of years of history of our ancestors is imprinted within us. And that when we really get to that and realize that that's underneath all those layers, behaviors will make more sense. We'll have a different idea of why we react to certain things the way we do, why we feel the way we do, why we can suddenly find intensity where somebody else might not have even noticed a thing. So the computer style, though, says, don't feel what you feel. And you don't want to know what the other person feels. Now that style also made sense before there were real computers. For a long time there weren't computers. But today, if you take out the human part of being human, if you take out rapport and connecting with other people, your computers will do that. We don't need human beings anymore for those things. Robots can do it, software can do it, people 3,000 miles away, connected by high-speed fiber optic cables can do it. So even for careers, that's not really working anymore. Now, that doesn't mean that a pilot who's facing a crisis, you don't want that pilot thinking what they're feeling when they're landing that plane. You want them doing what they're programmed to do. Same with a warrior in the battlefield. Same with a police officer, facing a threat. You don't want them doing that, but that's different than the mission of bonding. That's a very different mission. The mission of bonding, which is about meeting each other's needs for love and intimacy, that's different. So people often take what they've learned in one area and bring it to another. So the computer style turns off emotions altogether. And the last one, sorry, irrelevant, cancels out everything. They don't want to, I don't want to see your feelings, I don't want to show you my feelings, and I'm not going to deal with the situation. So I'll be at the bar. If you want me, I'll be home at 3. Or I'm just going to medicate so much that I'm not even present in the world. Or I'm just going to, accept an assignment where I'll see you in 12 months. Or I'll just be at the casino all the time. Or I'll just disappear into shopping. Or I'll just disappear into, church or synagogue or wherever it is. People find ways to disappear. They find ways to do it. And not because of anything bad, but because people don't know what to do. The distractor style comes from a place of saying, I don't know what to do. So I better just find a way to hide. Each style has a body posture. So the body posture of the placator is, in a moment you are going to get up and be placators, so be aware of this posture. It's down on one knee, its shoulders bent, because somebody's always stepping on them. Hand over the heart, because in that style we always have a heartache. Reaching up to heaven, because that's where we're expecting our help to come from. Saying things like, I'm so sorry, please forgive me, it's all my fault. I should have never done that. All right, 30 seconds. Out of your chairs and practice being placators with each other. Show us your best playing posture. That's good. That's good. But without the smile.
Without
Come on. You gotta get it without the smile. Try it one time. We'll wait.
You gotta get closer. Get in the
Don't
face.
laugh.
No matter what you do, no laughing.
Genuinely smiles.
I know, I'm kidding. I don't think I can do it without the smile.
You're not a blamer.
So the blamer tends to be doing exactly what Casino just showed us. You know, it's all your fault. You know, if it wasn't for you, this would have never happened. And keep in mind, I say the blamer, the placator, these are styles. They're things, they're like outfits that people put on and can take off. It's not that a person is a blamer or a person is a placator. It's a style, it's a way of being. Somebody learned, tried on and maybe kept on a little too long. Yeah. And now we go to the third of those styles, which we call the computer, also known sometimes as a super reasonable style. And that style, Chad, can I borrow you for a second? Sure. Thank you. So act like you have a steel rod going right up to the center of your spine.
Staying at attention.
And you're just looking past the other person because you don't really want to see them and you don't want them to see you. And say things that are just logical and reasonable. And you do that so well. And again, please no smiling.
Why do you want to go shopping for fill in the blank?
Yeah. So no emotion, no concern for the other person's feelings. You know, just what's the issue? We'll just deal with the issue. Excellent. Thank you very much. 20 seconds. Be computers with each other. I have found in other groups of working with military and veterans that that's a style that's so taught and so much expected that it can easily become something that people bring home because people have years of experience. People do what they do. So, okay, the fourth and final of these styles is my personal favorite, the distractor. The distractor cancels out everything. And that position, these were all developed by Satir, so I can't believe she made me do this, but I have to do it. Okay, knees turned inward. Feet sort of, woo, the distractor's out of touch. Ooh, did you read a gossip column about what so-and-so did? And oh, what nice lighting we have here. So 20, 30 seconds out of touch. Just practicing positive aspects to each of these styles, and we're going to get to those. So, but generally they're styles that we learned to get through life. But I'm going to get to that in a few minutes. So, but before we get to it, we want to compare these styles to animals. We say the placator is like the bunny rabbit that's running away at the first sign of trouble by canceling out themselves. And you tell me what's wrong, I'm out of here. I'll just say it's my fault and run away. The blamer can be like the lion or the rattlesnake. Some blamers are very loud and aggressive, and some are very subtle. They're equally destructive. You know, the subtle ways, which we call the velvet glove, and the active ways that we call the iron fist, they're equally destructive. But they're different ways of showing up. The snake image is the idea of taking a bite out of the other person for years, with another sarcastic comment, another put down, another way of belittling, where the lion, you know, can roar really loud and be very scary, but also generally gets over it and is ready to move on. And the computer is like the turtle that hides behind that big shell of facts and figures and logic and reason. And that's great information, but it can be very lonely in there. And that shell can be a fortress or a prison. And the distractor is like the ostrich that says, if I can just get my head deep enough in this bottle or this sand or this whatever, and I don't see what's happening, and if I'm really lucky I get you to put your head down here with me, you know, maybe everything will just be better. And I wish that worked. I've tried that in my life. It didn't. Not only didn't it work, but then the way I put my head in the sand becomes the issue, as I've seen for other people as well. Four people are going to demonstrate this. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to imagine this is a family of four. And they can be whoever you all want in the family. You could have in-laws, you could have kids, you can choose. So first of all, who's who in the family? Who's who?
Dad, is that you?
All right, Dad.
You look so young, Dad.
All right, who are you gonna be? You can be whoever you want.
I'll be mom, I guess.
Okay. Troy?
I mean, I think we're doing the son and the daughter.
All right, son and daughter. Okay, so we know who everyone is. So throughout this exercise, and also when you all do it, they're always going to be who they are. That's always going to be mom, dad, son, and daughter. That's not going to change, even though we're going to change some things during the exercise. So now we're going to come up with what's the situation they're dealing with.
I've also heard not moving with the family.
Okay. Or you guys do what you got to do, but we're staying here.
Staying here with our friends and,
Okay.
playing video games, I guess.
All right, we'll go with that one? Okay. So mom and dad have an assignment.
I get to go sit down because dad's deployed.
That's the situation. So who's the military, who's the soldier here, who's the Marine? I mean, in this scenario, you can each be the.
Hey, I was deployed.
You want to be the Marine?
That'd be funny.
All right, let's let her be the Marine.
I'm sure
All
I
right?
can make it.
Your dad, you got your own career here.
Okay.
She's the Marine for this exercise. She's got her orders, and you're planning to go with her and support her.
Great.
Okay? All right, so that's mom and dad. The situation is mom's got an assignment. They're both ready to pick up and move for the 11th time in 11 years. And you all, who are teenagers, I guess one of you is like a junior, senior in high school, you're ready to stay here. You've decided to stay here. So that situation's going to be a situation throughout this exercise. All right, so what's going to happen is when I say start, each of them is going to pick and not tell anybody what they picked, one of those styles. So you can pick whichever one you want. And the other people should know which one you picked by the way you're being, not because you told them. So don't tell each other what you pick. It doesn't matter if you all pick the same ones, different ones, don't tell. And we're going to let the role play unfold for a few minutes, and then I'm going to say switch. And when I say switch, you're still going to be the mom that's deploying. You're still going to be dad. You're going to still be who you all are. You're just going to switch. The situation's still going to be the same. You're just going to switch to a different style. So, for example, if you were a computer, you might switch to the placater, et cetera, et cetera. So at the end of the exercise, I will have switched you 4 times. The first time and then 3 more. So you'll have a chance to see what it was like to deal with this issue in all the different styles. Make sense? Y'all ready?
Do you want us to go at the same time in a way?
I want you to do it as real as you can.
Okay.
However you do it is going to be just the right way to do it. All right? You guys start whenever you're ready.
Mom, I don't want to go. I just don't want to move with you. I don't want to go. Please understand why.
Honey, they're orders. They're things that we just have to
But
do.
they're
in life.
her orders, and I just really don't want to go, but, I mean, we'll keep in contact.
You'll find other friends there. This is just.
I love my friends here. I just want to stay with my friends.
Well, while you all take care of her, I'm gonna go take care of my thing, she is the problem, I think she needs to be handled. She's got her issues. I'll just be over at my friend's house and we'll work it out, so.
I can understand your thoughts on this, but what is it you're really trying to get out of the situation?
Well, Dad, all I'm trying to say is that, you know what? There's more issues to deal with here. I just want to do what I want to do. But I think she's got the future. I just want to go hang out with my friends, that's all.
Switch, pick a different style.
I am not moving to Fort Leonard Wood. That's just it. I'm not going.
You always pick fights with your mother!
I'm not going. I'm not going. I don't care what
You're
y'all
so
do, but I'm not
unsupportive.
going. I'm staying here with my friends, and I'm going to get a job, and I'm going to support myself. That's what I'm going to
Look
do.
at her, she's just being irrational.
Not irrational. I got stuff planned out.
I don't know why
I'm staying
she's
here.
so emotional. I can't get it. I don't get it.
You are emotional. Yes, you are emotional.
We can
Absolutely.
just step aside, look at it from the outside, see the big picture, and just handle it, just come together here. I don't understand what the problem is.
We'll go with the family.
What's the
I'm
big-
staying.
What's the big problem?
This is all her fault. She absolutely won't support you at all. You need to stand up and put some pants on and take care of this.
I tell you what, are you switching yet?
I'm so sorry. This is just how life is gonna have to be. I just don't know what to do.
me, I can do what I
All
want.
right, switch.
You see, she's sorry. I mean, you know, why can't, you know, the sky is blue for everybody. Take a look. Look at that plane over there. I mean, come on
Well,
now.
if we think about it logically, and, you know, Mom might be right, you know, she's moving, we're a family, you know, we should think about this and make some rational decisions.
I agree with
We
you.
can make new friends, we can go to a new school.
Completely agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Mom and Dad, why
Let's
can't
start
you just-
packing some boxes? Anybody want some Coke?
Yeah, that's fine.
Mom, what's Dad doing? Do you have him standing in the corner again?
Thanks,
All
dude.
right, switch. Never stop hearing you.
It's your fault that I can't even do what I want to do.
Hey, I have a game for us, guys!
I'm not leaving. I'm staying. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying. That's it.
I said we're going, that means we're going! It's Friday, Mom, it's game time!
You know, it's your fault that I can't even do what I want to do because I've been kept in this
Hey,
little
you wanna
box.
go
all
to
season.
the game with me?
We are not gonna argue about this.
Hey,
I'm tired of your attitudes. I'm tired of this distraction. We're gonna go.
We're always
You wanna go to the
moving.
game?
So what y'all work out?
Nothing.